Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is hi Ben. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is super recent. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really did. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Political Tuesday Tea Time with Bunky. I am your host, Bunky, founder of podcast network TV show, Tea Time with Bunky and Political Tuesdays. Tonight, my co-host is not here tonight. His son, Isaiah, and the Fallsburg Comets are on there. Tonight is the first basketball game, and they are playing against Tri-Valley, New York. So they're probably in halftime now. I don't know. It's been a long time. But either way, good luck to the Comets. Go out there and get them. Let's go Comets, the cheerleader coming out of me. You can catch Tea Time with Bunky every Thursday at 7 p.m. live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can catch Political Tuesdays on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also catch me on your favorite podcast platforms: Stitcher, Spotify, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Cashbox, and Amazon Music. Tonight, we're going to do a rehash of a couple of things. But the main thing I want to talk about tonight is the pardoning of Hunter Biden. But we're going to get into that. There's been a lot of things going on. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving holiday. As you know, Tea Time with Bunky took a break last week. I gave myself a little break so I can come back and prepare for this week. Tune in Thursday where I have hip hop legend Ron the Beast Stinger Savage. He's an activist, OG survivor, Arthur, and we're going to get into the ugliness of hip hop, which we all see going on with Diddy right now. But that's on Thursday. Make sure you tune into that. On Wednesdays, you can catch In the Studio with Direct Boys at 7 p.m. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram live. Once again, wishing the Comets luck tonight on their first basketball game. It's basketball season. I want to do a rehash on last week. 2 weeks ago, I spoke about Brandon Durham. If you all remember, he was the young man that was killed in his home by the Las Vegas police during a home invasion. He reported a home invasion. Apparently, it was someone that he was dating, broke into his house. There were several. Now I know more information. There were several 911 calls from the neighbor, from the daughter, and from Brandon talking about an intruder. At one point, the 911 call said that there were 2 people entering and there were guns. And Brandon said that the intruder had a gun, but we all know it was Alejandra Boudre. She was charged. Let me remind for people that don't know. Okay, when the police entered the house, before they entered the house, when the 911 call was made, there was a description of the assailant. She had on a red hoodie, and a ski mask. So by the time the police entered, like I had said when I had first talked about this, by the time the police entered, they saw the 2 of them wrestling with this knife, and you can see the still shots. Okay, Brandon was in his underwear. She was in a hoodie and the mask partially off her face. Okay, so the police, when he went in, he made the command, drop your weapon, blew twice, but really not enough time before he started shooting. He shot Brandon, headshot, shot him in the head, then shot him 5 more times. He is on administrative leave. Remember, y'all, he worked for community. He was like a community officer, not a community officer, but he was one of those officers that's supposed to work in the community. But anyway, Alejandra was charged with 1 count of home invasion with a deadly weapon, 1 count of performing an act of unwillful or wanted disregard of safety resulting in death, 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon, and DV, which is domestic violence, 1 count of child abuse, neglect, or endangerment. Because remember, his 13-year-old daughter was in the house at the time of all of this. Well, she was given a bail of $1 million. She was given a $1 million bail. Um, she still hasn't appeared in court because she's refusing to appear. Her goal was to have, she wanted to be the one whose life was taken by the police officer. So that was her goal, suicide by the hands of officers. But apparently, this woman had 5 felonies out of 5 states, you guys, all assault charges. In 2011, one in California, 2017, one in Florida, 2018, one in Louisiana, 2022 in New York, 2024 in Washington, and the latest with Brandon. Apparently, they were dating, and when it broke off, during that time that they were together, he bought tickets or something for her to go someplace. She went to the airport. This was stemmed it. She went to the airport, found out that the tickets were canceled somehow. She came back to the house, was bugging out, throwing bricks through his window, got in the house, turned on the gas, got 2 knives, and that's when everything went left. So that's the update with Brandon. So she has a $1 million bail. We also mentioned Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who was considered for a position with Trump. He no longer is a part of it. He has withdrawn because I guess it was too much going on. So I'm talking about them to get to Hunter Biden, because we're going to see a pattern like the pot calling the kettle black here. His current nominee, Sean Duffy, is now facing new allegations, xenophobia, different types of assaults. So this is who Trump has put in charge. Okay, criminals. We have the trade wars going on. For anybody that's saying, I would really need you guys to talk to me, or it's going to be a short show. It's fine with me, though. But we're talking about the trade wars between Canada and Mexico, which nobody's talking about, will actually cost Americans, 400,000 Americans will lose their jobs. That's what the estimation was. Trump said that he will sign an executive order planning a 25% tariff on all imports from Canada and Mexico, along with an additional 10% tariff on imports from China, all in retaliation for drugs and migrants crossing U.S. borders. This is what he's saying. This is his plan. U.S. companies import over $1.2 trillion from Canada, Mexico, and China in 2023 alone. Those three are our largest trade partners, and that's where he's putting the taxes, the tariffs. Canada, trade with them is crude oil and other gas. Mexico, major car and auto parts. And China, our electronics, which are our phones and laptops. So what it will do is a tariff or taxes on imports from foreign countries. Foreign countries used to boost a country's economy and are generally a part of a protectionist policy. And if you want to know what a protectionist policy is, a protectionist economy is an economic ideology that uses government policies to restrict international trade and protect domestic business from competition. So with that, I will be right back. Hi, this is Bunky from Tea Time with Bunky Podcast Radio. I'm inviting you to tune in to Tea Time with Bunky every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for enlightening discussions, empowering stories, and dialogues. Trust me, you want to hear them. On Tea Time with Bunky, no conversation is too big, no conversation is too small. We have conversations from inspiring stories of triumph and survivor tales to discussion on politics, promoting your local businesses, and exploring everyday life topics. Trust me, this podcast is your safe space for open dialogue, healing, and self discovery. Doesn't get any more real than having a hot flash. Hello, the fan. So I invite you to tune in on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these conversations that matter most to you. I will see you there. Hi, and welcome back. I really miss Shad. I'm used to now having somebody to talk to, somebody to go back and forth with. But anyway, as you all see, when I mentioned the hot flashes in the commercial there, I don't have my fan because I have been using this product called Minnow. For women that don't know about it and you're going through hot flashes and change your life, I really suggest that you look into it. But it's by the O Positive Women's health brand. It is amazing. So, all right, here we go. Hunter Biden, pardon, y'all. Let me tell you. Let me get this thing up here with the tariffs because I just had to get to that. Hunter Biden tariffs. Hello, hi. That Hunter Biden pardon. I was so happy when I saw this. Okay, what was he pardoned for? Okay, they say 3 felony tax offenses in federal gun trial, 3 misdemeanors. He faced a maximum of 17 years in prison. That's what he faced, right? Eric Holder said that no U.S. attorney would have prosecuted this case given the underlying facts investigated over 5 years. No attorney would have prosecuted this. Less than 0.9% of people are indicted, prosecuted, and found guilty of lying on a gun form. So that's what happened. He filled out a gun form. I guess he didn't display his, put out there about his drug addiction because he had a drug addiction. So I'm guessing that's what the gun thing was about. He lied on his form. But to know that no prosecuted this, it all goes back to we know that it was personal. It was a personal thing because of what his last name was. His last name is. Okay. And my excitement over his father pardoning him was because there's been so much, like I read the people that Trump is putting in office, right? You have both sides bugging out, kind of, not fully, but some bugging out because Biden made this executive decision, did what he did, which any loving father would have done. Not even just father. If it was my fifth cousin and my enemy was, because that's what we know they are, was getting ready to be in a position where he can torture, because that's basically what it would have been, my relative, I would have gotten him out of that situation too. I would have done it. People are saying, he should have been a bigger person. He's been lying. He's been saying all this time that he wasn't going to pardon him. But we've been hearing, and we know that this was a run for office. It was a retaliatory run. He had a list of people who he needed to retaliate against, for people who he thought was going against and coming for him. So to leave his son in a situation like that would have been horrendous. It would have been horrendous. Anybody in position would protect their family if they were about to be thrown to the wolves. That's my opinion on that. Now, we're talking about people Trump has pardoned. He pardoned his son-in-law's father, pardoned his son, who did not have a drug addiction, right? But it's all about the greed, because we know his crew, the wealthy, the 1% or whatever, they look out for each other. So, but he pardoned Charles Kushner and recently nominated him to be the ambassador of France. So what he did was He had 18 counts of illegal campaign contribution, tax evasion, and witness tampering. Rich people crimes. But a crime is a crime is a crime. Trump pardoned him and is trying to place him in position, a really good position. He's filling up the whole cabinet with a bunch of criminals, a bunch of felons. Um, there was also 5 other staff members from his previous board that he pardoned. It was Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Michael Flynn, Stephen Bannon, and George Papadopoulos. So these people aren't even related to him, but they were loyal to him. So it's okay for him to pardon people who were loyal to him and worship him, but everybody's having a fit because Biden pardoned his son. This is his flesh and blood, his last child, his last son, because we all know he lost his son Beau to cancer. May he rest in peace. But yeah, people are like, now it's giving Trump a pass to do whatever he wants to do and say, well, it's giving him the right to say, well, Biden did it and not Biden. He calls him all these crazy names like CP Joe and all. He did it, so I can do it. But the thing is, Trump has been doing these type of things from the beginning. He's been doing all kind of corrupt, illegal things and been getting passes. And the American people have been holding Joe Biden up and everybody else to a much higher standard than they are this man, which makes no sense to me. He can get out there, say what he wants to say. He can get out there, demean people, vulgar acts, behave in any type of way. He has no boundaries. There are no lines. Like, people have invisible lines that they won't cross. He doesn't have that. But they expect, right, but they expect Joe Biden to act humbly and gracefully and just continue. No, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I believe that if he did not pardon his son and would have allowed his son to still be going through this with facing up to a maximum of 17 years, which we know he would have gotten it because Trump and his people would have made sure that this man was tormented because his father wasn't in office. I will be right back. Hi, my name is Bunky. Join me on Tuesday at 2 p.m. on the DuPont Network, brought to you by Village Global Network, where we give you an unbiased view of politics at every level, from the lowest to the highest, from the local to the national. This is the place to be because we're not trying to convince you, we're just trying to give you the right information. I'm Bunky, and let's do politics together. Thank you so much. Okay, and welcome back to Tea Time with Bunky. There's going to be some changes with that. I'll get into that in the new year. But for now, you can still catch me on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on the DuPont Network and on Saturdays at 4 p.m. on the DuPont Network. On Saturdays, it's Tea Time with Bunky. On Tuesdays, it's Political Tuesday. And you can also catch me on Zeno FM, where the show airs on Thursdays at 8 a.m. in over 200 plus countries. So back to Trump. Now, so we're talking about the pardon and everything and how Trump ran on a retaliation campaign. But we know that he knew that if he had gotten in office, the sentence, his trial, everything would have been dismissed and thrown out. We all know that he has 34 felony counts against him. And now Justice Juan Merchant postponed the trial, pushed it back again in order to weigh Trump's bid to dismiss the case entirely based on the facts that he is now president elect. So everybody's bugging out about Biden, but we have a man who ran for office with the intent, because you can tell by his reaction that he probably really didn't think he was going to win, but the intent was so that he would not face any charges. We're going to have a felon in the White House. Um, America is like it doesn't seem like it holds the same weight like it did previously in other countries, when other countries look at us now because they see that America voted a felon in. When most jobs, they ask you that one question. And when you're looking for housing, they ask you that question. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? This man was convicted of 34 felonies. His people that he put in office were either there were allegations or charged. It's like a White House full of felons. So what what do you do with that? Good evening, Chris. Let me ask you, if you got a minute, how do you feel about Biden pardoning his son Hunter? I'm all for it. I'm glad that he did it. Because if he would not have done it, Hunter would have been given the 17 years in prison. I feel that's, and it's not even just me. Everybody knows that's what would have happened. He would have gotten the 17 years. And Trump's cases were all thrown out. They haven't been thrown out yet, but once he gets into office, it's going to be a manhunt for people who spoke against him. I think that was a smart move. He would have had it exactly, Chris. I was saying that he would have had a bullseye on his back. That man would have been locked up in 2.2 seconds right after he was sworn in. Right after he was sworn in. And I personally think that would have taken Biden out. I think that would have, because he's already, sorry, Biden, he's already frail. He's already frail. And I think to sit there and watch his son be tortured like that would have done him in. But he did the right thing. And everybody that's saying it was wrong, that he lied or whatever, if you're a parent, or if you have been bullied, because Biden has been bullied by Trump, everybody has been bullied by Trump. Let's just keep it 100. Everybody who has said anything about this man has been bullied by Trump. That's right. Take care home first. Absolutely. He did what he was supposed to do. He manned up and he's taking it. He don't got that much longer in office. And hopefully his son will get his life together, continue on the straight and narrow, do what he have to do. Just don't make his father regret what he did. And I don't think that he would. But people, I also heard it today when I was watching The View. It was said that, I forget her name because she get on my nerve. It was said that hopefully his kid did the right thing. Exactly, Chris. Hopefully he, don't take advantage of it. But she has said, I forget which one. I forget her name. I don't like her. The one on The View I don't like. But she said that she has family members, and everybody has family members that have had felonies or whatever, been in jail, and don't have a president to pardon them. But she also worked for Trump. She worked for Trump until he came for her, and then she left. So she was basically saying that Biden should not have pardoned Hunter, that he should have stuck it out, because it's just showing what politics is about and blah, blah, blah. Everybody talks about the things that and I hate to make this Democrat Republican because I hate parties, but talk about how the Democrats, if we do anything wrong, one thing, not even wrong, if we do anything that goes against the Constitution, we're like the enemy. We are the enemy. But you can have people like the Republicans praising January 6th and not seeing it as an insurrection and the type of things that it was. It's a true double standard. It's a true double standard. Nobody's screaming out. Nobody's screaming out about how Trump pardoned um, his son-in-law's father and you may put him into this position. Nobody seems to see the crimes that he did, even though they were rich people crimes. You know, rich people crimes is money crimes. Like I said, a crime is a crime. It's a crime. But nobody's seeing and talking about that pardon and then putting him in position in the White House. Um, he was not put in any positions, any jobs of authority in the White House. He was just being the son of a president and acting like an irresponsible person. Like that's what he did. Whereas Trump initially put his whole family in the White House. Family, his daughter, maid, and his son-in-law became richer, and his sons and his family became richer from him being in position. And nobody's looking at that. Nobody's talking about that. And it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Whoopi Goldberg had said, she had told people to try to relax until January 21st when he gets in office, because he gets sworn in on the 20th, takes effect 21st. Everybody try to relax and not be so anxious and enjoy the holidays. But as we watch all the criminals that he's trying to get into office, it makes you wonder where America's going. Well, we see where America's going. Nobody's really watching the news. Everybody's afraid. I know I haven't, during the whole holiday, I didn't watch television. I didn't watch television at all. And everybody that knows me knows I'm a television head. I will be back in 1 second. Welcome back to Tea Time with Bunky. Out of fear of seeing the news and new things that are coming along the line. So, yeah, I said I miss my co-host tonight. I'm not really into this politics thing, as y'all see. I'm like really over it. I'm like really, it's like really draining me. And because Shad's not here, I'm gonna end this early, and I don't have a problem with it at all. And once again, I would like to wish the Fallsburg Comets a good luck on their first basketball game tonight against Tri Valley. That's Fallsburg's big rivalry. Yeah, that's, well, not big, but they're one of our rivalries. So good luck to them. Everybody, I would tell you to watch the news, but no, don't watch it. Don't watch the news. Nobody's talking about the wars going on. Nobody's talking about starvation going on. Everybody's talking about Elon Musk making more money, and everybody making money, and people in this country are starving and homeless. And all they're talking about is Hunter Biden being pardoned. So I'm happy he did it. Good for you, Joe. You did a good thing. Continue to watch. Some of these election numbers are still coming in. It looks like the House is slowly creeping up. The gap is closing. It doesn't matter though. The gap is closing. What's going to be done is done. So yeah. You guys take it easy. As you see, Political Tuesday is coming to a halt because I'm over it. Next week is probably our final show for the year. That's show 13, season 1, episode 13. Final show of the year. Me and Shad will be wrapping it up because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's giving me anxiety and it's stressing me out. So I was trying to drag it out to 6:30, at least give it a half an hour. But I'm totally over this. So everybody have a good night. Tune into Tea Time with Bunky on Thursday, which is going to be good. Like I said, I have hip hop legend Ron the Bee Stinger Savage. He's a hip hop artist from the original Zulu Nation. I mean, he has a backstory that is one that needs to be told. You can catch that on Thursday at 7 p.m. You can catch my co-host who's not here on Wednesday, and Chris, his partner, on In the Studio with the Rec Boys, where everything hip hoppy is talked about on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I appreciate you all. I made it to 6:30. You have a wonderful night, and I will see you for the finale next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Tell a friend, like, share, follow, and subscribe.